And then the other thing is, that especially with rapidly accelerating technology and AI, I basically see two kinds of risks. One kind of risk is multipolar risks, which is basically the risk that lots of people will use the technology to do very bad things, right? And there's a concern that, like, one type of concern is sort of the equivalent of anyone being able to get a nuke at 7-Eleven, like, sort of thing. And then there's unipolar risks, which is basically, I think actually a single AI itself is one of them, and the other one is AI enabling the combination of AI and other modern technologies enabling permanent dictatorship that you cannot escape. That deeply worries me, right? This is something I follow, right? And to me, DAC is really attempting to chart a path forward that continues this acceleration and accelerates it, but at the same time really deals with both kinds of risks. The current trajectory of AI is very fast progress, right? And I don't know how fast the progress is. A couple of years ago I've said that my 95th% confidence interval for AGI was 2028 to 2200. I think it's probably shrunk somewhat, but not too much, right? And there's a significant chance that we're going to see extremely rapid change happen, and a lot of that extremely rapid change could be destructive, even in irreversible ways, right?
Please allow me to ask: is 10 years from now, if things went really poorly, what went wrong? What does the world look like, and what went wrong? If 10 years from now things go great, what does the world look like, and what went great? And then apply the same thing briefly to 100 years and to 1 billion years.
I think that's part of the 10 year. Okay, so but the 10, I think the 10 year. For me, it's that. One aspect of this is avoid World War III, right? I think, this is important to talk about because, World War III will make all of the pessimistic assumptions about international coordination being impossible very true. And I think, avoiding World War III is important. And then the other thing is also just preparing the world and people and environments for higher capabilities that we're going to have, right? And this includes greatly improving cybersecurity. This includes greatly improving biosecurity, greatly improving info security. Yes, we need AI assistants that help us understand the world and fighting and protect us from mimetic threats. So that's 10 years. I think the second stage there is basically what happens in the kind of spooky era, right? And in the spooky era, basically, you have AIs that are smarter than any of us today and can think 1 million times faster than us today. And what do we do in that world, right? And I think, there are people who want to say basically hey, we should just all have a happy retirement. And I can see why that vision is seductive. I think it's I find it unsatisfying for two reasons. I think one of those reasons is sort of instability, right? It's that basically, we are meat bags made up of matter that could do 1 million times more computation than what we're doing, and AIs will notice that, and at some point, the idea that they'll can stay aligned and resist that pressure forever is it feels like a risk. And also kind of the deeper thing is that I think part of being human is having a life that has meaning. And I think part of having a life that has meaning is being able to take actions that have actual consequences in the world. And so if all of us can have lives of maximum comfort regardless of what I do, I would feel empty, right? And I think a lot of people feel that way, right? And so I hope that we figure out human AI augmentation and like what that looks like. Does like ultimately, like does that lead to the same path as uploading? This is a thing that we need to figure out. And I think the downside world is basically a world where for any reason all of that goes off the rails and is prevented from happening.